Hey guys, I'm just out here doing another quick recording of Autism and Maturity again. Um, Again for stability and being a man that sits down and does what he does. I set out goals. I set out goals to do every day. So today I set out 3. I've already done one of them, which was pay the monthly Powerball, and listen to 2 cybersecurity modules. I've got to do that. I've done that for 1, and do 2 instrumentals for the last 2 tracks of the Pathway to Freedom, part 1 of 2. I might as well take my hat off. So yes, 1,740 in the savings, just went down to 1,650. Another 590 will be coming out on, no, not this Wednesday. The 15th or 16th is when I have to pay for the 590 a month for the cybersecurity. But there's 3 events I want to buy tickets to, and one of them is the ACDC. They said that the tickets for Wellington show is going to go on sale in May, and then I'll get a notification. And I've been checking, and no notification yet. And the other 2 is the All Blacks are having 2 home games here in Wellington this year, so that's like months away. So it's the ACDC is scheduled for December, but the pre-sale tickets go on sale on Wednesday, so I don't know when the ACDC tickets are coming out, but if they haven't come out by then, I've got to get a pre-sale ticket to the 2 All Blacks games, one against Argentina, one against Aussie, and hopefully the ACDC tickets haven't come out by the next week, because I don't like going less than $1,000 in the savings, because I still have to pay for that cybersecurity. Oh no, because then I'll have payday, so I'll be able to. Well, it'll be a big push. I don't know how much the All Blacks. Yeah, they're like $150 when you get it on public sale, because it's the All Blacks. So I'm presuming if it's pre-sale, it must be like $100 or something. If that's the case, then yeah, it'll be a tight budget week. But if the ACDC tickets come out, I can get them all. Anyway, autism and maturity. Another thing to it is in some ways we are immature in certain ways, because I'll give some props. This is one thing about my parents, is like, let's say all these people are doing these things, and you still have it, and you still want to be accepted. I'm past that, but when you grow up, you want to be accepted. And the thing is so long as I've got a handful of close mates that I know, if I give a call, they're gonna, or if I give a text to, they're gonna text me back, or we can organise to do something within a week or something. If they text me back that within like 10 minutes, or if they don't reply within that amount of time, they tell me that they were sleeping, or maybe they just didn't hear it because their phone was on charge and they were out doing stuff. That's totally different. But the thing is because of our kind-hearted nature, or the fact that we're just wired differently, like, so we learn things differently, we perceive information differently and communicate information differently, because we don't perceive the information, and communicate the information in the same way that 90% of the public does. The parents who are raising us can be like, oh no, this is like, we need to shelter him from all the bad, evil influences out there. And then they'll get right on our asses because they think we won't be able to hold our own. And I mean, in certain ways they're right, because here's the thing, is if you receive information differently, perceive it differently, and communicate it differently, you see typical kids, they see it from that lens, because although there's different personalities and different agendas, is they have the same way of receiving the information, they perceive it the same way, and they communicate it the same way. So you're operating out of a lens that's different from at least 90% of people in the world. So like, let's say there's about 85 90 people that are deemed as what they call neurotypical. Some people say it's not a word because it's just people who are acclimatized, or just people who are not themselves, but then other people say no, it is. Another debate. So yeah, the bad ones, they think, oh this person is incapable, inept to see their intentions. Well, the thing is if there's a bad person who's autistic or ADHD, people can put on a fake performance that they're so great or whatever, and because the way they do it is different from neurotypicals who are bad. Um, Us autistic and ADHD people can see for who they are, you know, and we get to the point where we can see through most bad people's facade anyway. Like by the time we're like 20 or something, but they say, oh, like, what type of woman do you want? You describe situations, and maybe you say this and that, and other people want to say, like, oh, you got a lot to learn.
Security from RC.
So that call was for me. You got to go put the barriers up because something has happened, and so that call was for me. So I got to go put the barriers up for some reason. Something's happened. So that means it's bus replaced. So by putting the barriers up, we don't get people going, huh, the train is this and that, but it might have been bus replaced at the moment and hasn't been updated on the app. So it's my job to go do it. So I'm just about to go do it. But yeah, they can say, oh, like, you can't see this person's intentions. We have to protect you from these bad people. We have to protect you from this and shelter you from that because, and there's a 50% truth factor that they are right, because we wouldn't be able to read their intentions because we have a different way of learning. So our body language is different, our social cues are different, and we have no issue understanding each other's body language and social cues. And there's good people who are autistic and good people who are ADHD, and there's bad ones too. So if a bad person who was neurotypical wanted to bully us and stuff, when we're younger, because we learn through experiences, but when we're younger we won't be able to tell because our social cues and our body language and how we read and perceive things is, whether consciously or unconsciously, depending on whether we know we're autistic or not, is from an autistic lens, and it's not from a neurotypical lens. So sometimes we can even think that the good ones are trying to rip us off or play us around or something, but we often also would miss the bad ones' cues because we perceive everything from a autistic or ADHD lens. And the reason why one thing I paused, I thought, in the previous recording, because here's the thing, I thought that because of the fact that I can get fatigue from the overwhelm, the sensory. Now I just time myself so I know that if I do get it, it'll come, and I have a couple of days planned out just to rest up and just get groceries and that. But the rest, other weekends, I won't need that, and I don't need that, So yeah, we can see mature, immature that way because there's a positive, there's a pro and con to everything. The parents that are like sheltering their kids from these things because they think their kid is inept, or they realize their kid views the world from a entirely different lens, and they're sheltering them from the bad people. The pro to that is they don't go through the heartache and pain. Not at that age, but at some stage they might go through it because stepping out to the real world. You know what I'm saying? But the con to it is they also miss out on a lot of good experiences. So in that sort of way they are immature, but that's not their fault.